That is the consumption. It's what keeps our sanity in check while we watch the next end of the world happen. This week on
Mainstream Monday.
Sponsored by
Dude, I wish it was
McDonald's.
sponsored. If you want to give me money to
want
show
that?
your products,
Do you want that? Do you want that Red Bull ATV? Do you do you want to ride through parking lots?
if I can take a ride in the Flex Seal go-kart, I'll take it.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Until then, we'll be here, not getting the dreaded C virus
Yes.
by playing video games. Which I gotta tell you, video games are pretty cool. If you haven't played any, did you know Tetris helps you keep your need to clean in good functioning order because it's a natural organizational game.
Yeah.
Other games make you shout racist things at strangers.
But if you are new to games, and you, although I doubt it, but if you are new to games, what better place to start than in some of the most famous games?
Flappy Bird. You like Flappy Bird.
Can't get Flappy Bird anymore.
Can't get Flappy Bird anymore. You can get its...
You can get, like, fake bootleg versions of Flappy Bird, but you cannot get the original.
Here's the thing with stupid-ass
official
phone games. They're already on, like, the next thing. They're on Crossy Road now. They're on the stupid sliding key puzzle game.
Did you guys Pokemon go to the polls? Make sure you vote for insert name of winner here. Well, if you're looking for the types of video games that will help you get through an even longer quarantine,
or even longer than that, the development of 2077, there's a slew of games we could recommend. In fact, there's just a few games we could recommend more than 10 times, more than 20 times.
yes,
There's series that just shit out so many of the same thing and you don't realize it.
and indeed we're going to be looking at series that have a whole bunch of games in them, so that you can just dive in.
Just in case you didn't know what it was like to step on Mushroom, you can step on Mushroom again, but this time in 3D.
Which is a perfect segue to our first segment about stepping on mushrooms and eating them and walking on them and
Whoa.
all kinds of mushroomy goodness.
Please don't say it.
Super Mario Brothers.
I just don't want to talk about Mario anymore, dude. It's
There are over 100 games with Mario in them. If there's any Mario games that are like, I genuinely think everyone should play, it's the original Super Mario Brothers, and then Mario 64.
You're not gonna say Super Mario Brothers 3 because I've never played that one, and people apparently.
Sure.
Is
Super
the jury
Mario
still
Brothers
out for the
3
best Mario
is-
game ever? Is it still Super Mario Brothers 2?
Super Mario Brothers 2, also known as Doki Doki Panic.
Yeah.
The whatever it used
The
to
one
be
where you
called.
pick up turnips, and it was game changing apparently.
That's because it was a
Game
completely
changing.
different game.
Okay.
It was not Mario.
Come on, where are my Super Mario RPG fans at? Come on.
Paper Mario?
Come out of the woodwork, you gremlins. Alright?
I definitely recommend Paper Mario.
Yeah.
And Thousand Year Door. That's all.
The Origami King came out for that one. That's the end of my statement. I'm not going to.
It sure is a game that's out. Are there any Mario games that you think are, like, bad? This could include spin-offs, like...
Please let us know in the comments. I'm sure you've got your answer ready to go.
Someone is like, oh, I
Mario
can't wait to talk shit on Hotel Mario. On Mario Teaches Typing.
Because, like, damn, and then I have to take the other, like, the non-game Mario games into consideration. Mario Paint, where you can...
Mario Paint?
Where people spent more time making music on it.
Right, yeah, that was great.
So, like, am I really ready to rank that game above other real Super Mario games?
Like Mario Golf?
played Strikers? Who played? I want you to show yourselves right now. You're the part of the problem.
Leave a like on this video if you're one of the people who contributed to the downfall of society by playing Mario Strikers. Would you want to encapsulate the Donkey Kong series into the Mario?
No, you know what? I don't know. Not enough about the Donkey Kong games, even the old ones, is different from Mario. Not enough.
Yeah?
Not enough.
They're worth talking about.
You're still jumping on enemies. You're still platforming. You're still... It's still kooky and fun for the whole family, so, Nintendo always got that right.
Right, yeah, right.
But, yeah, like, I could believe Mario was doing half of those things that Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong were doing.
Sure.
So, yeah, game-wise, they felt the same, which is fine. It's fine.
And I think those old Donkey Kong games are great.
I do love me some Donkey Kong, but
even Tropical Freeze is pretty good. Although I'm really bad at it. I do recommend the 3D All-Stars compilation.
All-Stars.
Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy.
A truly happy bundle. Not to sound like a Coomer trying to sell you the next product. Right. But those three are pretty damn good.
Make sure you get your hands on those before they stop being sold for no reason.
Yeah, because why does Nintendo do this? Why is Nintendo doing
Maybe they hate money.
Well, maybe they hate their own fans.
Who could blame them?
Who could blame them? These dudes don't shower.
Moving on from Mario, I suppose, and Nintendo and their ilk.
Yes.
Slightly under 100 games.
100 games and under. I'm so glad we're getting into the realm of originality.
Right. We're getting down to the 2-digit numbers of games. Excellent. I think there's about 90 Mega Man games. Now,
you guys have no excuse. Those were painfully samey. I promise.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. Those were all basically the same game.
Yeah. So, absolutely not. No, that's unexcusable. Like,
and don't get me wrong. I played and I enjoyed a lot of them, like Mega Man 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, or whatever. Like and then Mega Man X 1, 2, 3, 8, and 6.
As a connoisseur of some nice video game tunes, of course, I had to go through like discography of Mega Man a couple times.
Classic soundtrack.
Like those are, I don't know if they're worth the whole game if you don't like the game part of it though. So I found those songs on YouTube, and that's as much Mega Man as I'll ever need.
Well, I enjoy the platforming. I enjoy the design. Most Mega Man games are at least intelligent, unlike when Mega Man had a spin-off called The Mighty Number 9, and it was horrible.
Exploding Doritos.
And it didn't have any of the brilliance of the level design. Jeez. The best example is when it tells you to do a crouch dash.
Chiptune music, so the whole time you would have felt like you were fighting an oppressive techno-fascist government. Kind of like we are today. We got Mega Man games out the ass.
There's a bunch of, I haven't really played any of the 3D Mega Man games. Mm-hmm. The only ones I ever played through were the 2D platformers. So, who knows? Maybe all those N64 RPG games were really good.
You should try to evolve your game, your gameplay. That's the most unique thing about your creation by far. And if it's been 30 and they're the same, geez, that's just that sure is lazy. That sure is lazy, and I can't just withhold that comment from companies that are doing so great with such a creative IP. Good for them that they're forcing you to buy 30 of them.
Mega Man, Mega Man's got a whole bunch of games, and they've been going on for a long time. And they have that division of 2D games, 3D games, and there aren't really a good mixture of them. Mm-hmm. However, there's a lot more gradual of a transition in Sonic games.
Oof.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Did you guys play the Sonic fighting game? The Sonic whatever the hell? It was cool. It was broken. was broken.
What about Sonic R?
What about Sonic Wave Racers? Whatever the fuck that fucking
The
hoverboard.
snowboarding game,
The stupid
yeah.
hoverboarding game. That one was fine. No, it wasn't. They talked
There
about...
are so many fucking Sonic games. And there's maybe like
Why?
2 good ones.
Like, man, you know what? When it comes to like the theme of Sonic, I think it's so much of a meme to everybody because almost everyone you encounter in a Sonic game is just outright goofy, and they still need to be respected like they're as powerful or as important as Sonic. Why don't we have some straight up shitty people in Sonic? Like, come on, some real dirtbags that need to be put in the ground.
They had that in Shadow the Hedgehog. So there you go.
Where he
that's
says
that's the game you need in your life.
where Shadow finally says the N-word. So okay, Sonic is what a travesty, right? What a travesty.
So,
what have they done to my boy?
I mean, well, we've got.
Did you guys spend your Valentine's Day weekend with your loved one and go see Sonic in theaters
Oh god.
for the last time in human society?
Yeah, I hope we're all happy that the final movie was Sonic the
The
Hedgehog.
final one. They're gonna uncover our frozen bodies 100 years later.
When people discover the bombed out ruins of movie theaters, they'll be like, it appears that they worshipped a blue hedgehog as some sort of deity.
Jeez. I can't think of even half of those fucking Sonic games to recommend. No. there's
Sonic.
Once again, just like Mega
the
Man.
first one.
Probably worse than
Maybe
Mega
Sonic
Man.
and Knuckles.
Sonic and Knuckles.
And you know what?
Sonic Adventure, I'm sure everyone's...
The
everyone
Sonic
wants,
Adventure games,
yeah,
the 2
everyone
of
wants
those.
to say, yeah, alright, I'll concede to those.
Not to say that they were good,
They were original.
but I had a lot of
They were
fun.
original and they were kooky, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll let those slide. I mean, that's why I'm sort of in favor of Sonic Heroes, but we all know why anyone would play Sonic Heroes, and it's for the Chaotix missions.
Hell yeah.
And no, other than that, I mean, there's the Sonic Mania game, and I'm sure that one's just fine. But even that one, I wasn't enthusiastic enough about Sonic to play. So I don't know. There's for some of these, you could really just keep your money and look at memes on the internet.
Do you want to talk about Final Fantasy?
Yeah, Final Fantasy. Those are.
This concludes our segment on Final Fantasy. Well, speaking of JRPGs with way too many entries, Pokemon.
Pokemans.
What else is there to say about Pokemon? Well, Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow were some great games.
I'm sure.
I had Pokemon Yellow on my Game Boy Color.
Just like, you know what? Of course. There's just so much magic found in these original firsts.
Yeah.
All this originality was poured into it, and
like I think,
and I hope they didn't sap the world of that kind of creativity, because now they're spearheading a new fucking game for it every year.
Right.
And you gotta wonder what their originality is when they've got hundreds of Pokemon, and some of them look shockingly samey, and probably act samey too.
Yeah. There's only so much variance that you can have. As far as the games go, I played a lot of them, a lot of the generations. Maybe I missed one or two here and there, but I kind of fell off towards the end.
Yeah. We have to talk. We have to talk about the existence of the DS era. All of these DS games.
Right.
All of this. The age of Nintendo, were before Switch.
Yeah, the handhelds.
Yeah.
3DS is completely discontinued, so you can't even play like Pokemon Sun and Moon anymore.
Even the Picto chat is gone.
Those would be probably the ones I recommend. Sun and Moon.
WeChat, whatever the hell it's called. It's all been cut off, all to the wayside. Now we're all handheld at home. throughout all this, Pokemon has.
Pokemon.
What's your
alone
favorite
is
Pokemon? It's not in the new game. It's not.
No.
It's not.
I would probably say like the one that I still go back and play is Pokemon Yellow.
Is that so?
Yeah, the oldest one.
Mm.
Although I understand that a lot of things were wrong with that game and that those things needed to be fixed. So like for a new Pokemon player, I would probably recommend like Sun and Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Those are nice entry-level Pokemon games. Or maybe Fire Red, the Gen 1 remake. You want to start early because there are hundreds of these fucking things.
Yeah.
And you need to get, like, your understanding of them grounded.
I don't have a problem with there being Pokemon that you'll never catch.
And every game has Pokemon that you can't catch in that game.
Yeah. And I understand like you're going to need several copies to actually get this to work, and through sharing, if that service is even still available.
Right. The goal was to get you to have friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
or at least give you and your current friends
right.
something to do.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I got Pokemon Red, you've got Pokemon Blue. I'll trade you my Caterpie for a Weevil. Mm-hmm. And now we've got Pokemon that we couldn't have in the other game.
Yeah.
There's some Pokemon that you can only evolve by trading. Gotta catch 'em all isn't even possible anymore.
Yeah.
So much for that.
Just stop making more Pokemon. Just call it quits. Pick the next thing.
I think there's enough Pokemon.
Did you play the
fair.
Pokemon fighting game? Did you play
Pokken tournament? Yeah.
Did you like it? Is it still in tourneys? Is someone making a living off of being a pro Pokken player?
Is anyone streaming Pokken right now?
Even the VTubers have left it for dead, dude. I guess play Pokemon Go. It's finally Pokemon Go.
From what I've heard, Pokemon Go is now a complete game.
Yeah.
Which seems like good.
Yeah.
If it's something to get you the hell out of the house, then maybe wait a few more months.
And then the next time you go out, remember to take, weapons with you.
Right, definitely.
Weapons.
And wear a mask.
Molotovs.
Wear a gas mask so that you don't get
So you don't get maced by your local pastor. Huh?
Also on our list is a series with about 30 games or more. Series known as Castlevania. About 30 games, and I've only played one.
Is that the one with What is a Man? Is that the What is a Man game?
Yeah.
Where he goes Pile of Secrets?
Symphony of the Night?
So this is a great series that I think now at this point is too convoluted for its own good.
Yeah.
I have no idea who's who anymore.
Right.
Everyone's got secret relations to each other, and I guess you discover that game by game. But, geez, it's a bit much.
If you want Castlevania for the story, there's a Netflix series now, and it's pretty good. The only Castlevania game that I actually played was the first one, Castlevania.
Yeah.
And I really liked it. It was
probably
hard as shit.
Hard, yeah. And solid platform, solid music, solid colors. All the artwork was nice. Symphony of the Night was really nice, truly. It really took off with that one. And yeah, it's pretty well deserved praise. Yeah. It had possibly some of the best staples of having to search an entire castle for everything you need via puzzle platforming, which is So that was good. That and in the same line with the Metroid games that were taken off.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Metroid. It's never coming, guys.
No.
It's never coming. Instead, you're getting
Metroid's dead.
Instead, Castlevania is here to completely replace it, and it will. As soon as it invents a pulse gun, it will be exactly what Metroid is.
That'd be cool to bring Castlevania into sci-fi.
Oh yeah,
because Dracula's immortal, he'll just keep coming back. So
Jason has gone to space. So why can't Richter Belmont and Dracula? And and these games they also have quite stellar music. I'm a big fan of their gothic style. Yeah, and most of their artworks are incredibly high detailed, reminiscent of like these oil paintings of that Renaissance era. So it's got a great atmosphere to it, and I would at least recommend one of them. I don't think they had a problem where they got too samey for their own good. I can't say that they exploded with originality in their later titles. Like
I know that
I don't think I would recommend it.
They basically changed genres.
You know what? Yeah, I don't think I could recommend them some of the games like what the Lords of Shadow, where it was such a cheap knockoff of Shadow Colossus and God of War.
Wow. Okay.
And like you could tell. So maybe with those I wouldn't recommend, but for being the Castlevania-esque game that they used to be,
Well, what are the 3D Castlevanias like?
Because
there was one on like the GameCube, I think.
I believe so. Yeah. And those were okay-ish. They were kind of like Devil May Cry, which is fine. But yeah, Devil May Cry did it, which is way better. It's way better. Well, I would definitely recommend at least the big mega titles of that game. Yeah. But geez, they've also got like how many fucking installments, and I
30 games.
I can't name them all, so I'm not that much of a Castlevania fan.
Yeah, I liked Castlevania 1, the first one. It was good.
You know what? I
recommend that. That's all I can give you.
Way out of left field, I'll recommend Order of Ecclesia, a random 3DS game of the Castlevania series. Phenomenally well made. I enjoyed every bit of it. Okay. And it's got a girl main character. So, boom.
Finally.
Boom. Her magic superpower is that she has a gigantic tattoo on her bare back. So you get to see her bare back.
Finally.
in a video
Feminism in video games.
Yes. Right? It's not exploitation. It's just her back. It's just her back, guys. Relax. Yo, back fetishists, type, I got your back in the comments.
Resident Evil. There's another 30 Resident Evil games.
Oh boy. With those, those are even worse than Castlevania in terms of convolutedness. How dare they get that convoluted, dude? I love Resident Evil. How dare they let it get that bad? But like, man,
I have never I've played a handful of Resident Evil games, and I never cared about the story at all.
Jeez. I never cared that at some point they stopped being zombies. I literally didn't care. I was just as home fighting disgusting flesh monsters while still playing like a Resident Evil character.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't mind. I liked the horror survival aspect of the games in the first place. And the lore was nice up to a point. Because then I just I couldn't keep track anymore.
I've played the old Resident Evils a little bit. I mean, everyone bitches about tank controls.
Yeah.
And so am I, because tank controls fucking suck, and it was really hard.
Tank controls are silly, but
I get why they were there.
Yeah.
For that game, but.
Now that we have 6-axis joysticks, please, just
Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, and that's
was way better.
That was
everyone was really into that.
It literally still deserves all the praise it gets. Yeah, phenomenally well made game.
And then we're nearing fucked it up.
And we're nearing the possibility of getting to that point where they might literally just do a complete rehaul of Resident Evil 4. Because we were now out with our Resident Evil 3, and, well, it wasn't a fire inclusion, considering the game ended a little shorter than it should have. With less playtime than it should have. Yeah. Now we're nearing the horizon of possibly having a complete Resident Evil 4 overhaul. Which I'm pretty excited for. Put that on the PS5, I guess.
Yeah. Resident Evil 7, however,
it's popping off with spooky Christian grandma.
Yeah. Kept things
just
little
fucking
smaller,
flailing on a chair,
doing the Weekend at Bernie's. that game scaled things back, and it worked for that game.
It did.
You know,
and at the end of it, oh my god, it's still about all the convoluted lore.
Right.
At the very end, it's still all tied back together.
Yeah.
Well done, I guess. There are no holes in your plot. But like, damn. Jeez. This is a bit much.
Do you also have to watch all of the Resident Evil movies in order to understand?
Playing one of these Resident Evil games must be like watching one of the Resident Evil movies. Which one is it? Which one does it? 4?
Yeah.
Do you think playing Resident Evil 4 was like watching Resident Evil Extinction?
It was the closest you could get, because the other games were horror games, and those movies are not.
Absolutely not. There's
horror
too much
movies.
silly acrobatics.
Silly
acrobatics, unacceptable. So yeah, and geez, there's just so many tangents that the series takes that they decide to make entire games out of. A random game where 2 completely unassuming people before the events of Resident Evil 1 are on a train. The train is spooky and zombified. And also there's giant scorpions and tarantulas. And also lickers and other demon-esque monsters on this train. Completely unrelated to the events of Resident Evil 1.
Right.
At least up to a point. And I'm sure they'll reveal it in the exciting ending of... I can't even...
Resident Evil 8.
I think it was called 0. Okay, it's probably called 0. Correct me if I'm wrong. You get the point I'm trying to make, though.
So when Resident Evil 2 comes out, all of our questions will be answered.
Absolutely, yes. It will be the Resident Evil Prometheus.
Got it.
Of the Resident Evil game.
Our final category for today.
Ah, yes, the one I'm most excited about.
The Legend of Zelda.
Okay. Well, I'm excited about Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda is alright. That's one of them that I can really comfortably say.
There's like
every single time it's an original game creation. It's an original mechanics based.
There's a framework that a lot of them have as far as their structure goes, but there is a unique gameplay aspect to basically every single game. The games are all kind of variations on that theme, but at least they're varied enough.
Yeah.
If you're here for story, move on, because The Legend of Zelda tells the exact same story every time.
Yeah.
Except for a couple of times whenever they try to branch out a little bit, and they end up making the weirdest, most esoteric games.
Did anyone play Hyrule Warriors?
Does anyone get excited for Hyrule Warriors 2? The Breath of the Wild 0? I think it looks pretty great, actually.
Are you willing to drop Genshin Impact to play what Genshin Impact was copying?
If you ever wanted to play Genshin Impact but without the cute girls, you can go and play.
You can dress Link
Breath
up as a cute girl.
You can, in fact, dress up Link as a cute girl. So. You just play Genshin Impact in Breath of the Wild. And guess what? Breath of the Wild won't charge you micropayments. So
you can
go.
earn that cute little femboy outfit. So it will be the most tasteful when you earn it yourself, and you'll feel like a real gamer when you strap on your butt plug.
I mean, all the way back from the series' roots, the original Legend of Zelda, I still think that game holds up just fine. With a walkthrough, you're going to need a walkthrough for a lot of these old games. There's no shame in it. Try on your own first, but be willing to give up.
But also, trust in your intuitiveness. The game wants you to try to be intuitive. So, don't just go by the motions, because you'll be hitting a lot of walls.
Right.
And that's just because they're puzzle games.
Yeah.
And that's, I can concede to needing walkthroughs for, like, the older ones.
Yeah.
They got it much better.
Because especially the first one, there will just be, like, you need to put a bomb on this square, and there's just no visual difference. And I don't want to go around farming bombs and bombing everything.
Yeah.
So I'll just look that one up.
Understand.
Adventures of Link, Zelda 2.
Yeah.
The side-scrolling one. That one is a completely different gameplay.
That one seemed...
And is pretty good. I'd never beat it. I was really bad
They're
at
trying
it.
to be, yeah, it's surprisingly harder than the first one.
Yeah.
And yeah, it played vastly differently,
There's-
and that's fine too.
There's a bit of a pattern, and we'll see this as we go through them, where the direct sequel is always kind of weird, and usually in a good way, but they're exciting because they're so different.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that in a bit, but we got to talk about the big one,
Big
that's
Juan,
Link to the Past.
A Link to the Past,
Yeah,
Link to the Mast.
the one on the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
That was like the explosion. That was the game where everything really skyrocketed for the Zelda franchise, and it was fucking great.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. Man, I definitely I had a lot of fun playing the Four Swords games.
Oh
But
yeah.
for those, it was obviously the most fun with a crew of people.
Right.
Cooperative games just naturally appeal to me in that
Yeah.
aspect. And while Legend of Zelda is super fun, I had more fun playing their less popular titles, like the Four Swords games. And incidentally, Hyrule Warriors was also
Hyrule Warriors
a damn good time to play.
quite good, and I'm super excited for the next one. On the N64, right when they got into the 3D category, they had Ocarina of Time, which plenty of gamers herald as being the greatest video game ever made, basically.
And I can understand them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Their points are valid at times.
there's
And
not much wrong with it. It's pretty much like a 9 out of 10, nearly flawless game.
yeah.
And it led to this completely bonkers, off-the-wall sequel that everyone knows and fears to this day, Majora's Mask.
Refuses to utter its name
Yeah.
lest they invite kooky time mechanics.
Majora's Mask was another direct sequel. It was this weird esoteric concept,
Yeah.
and it was bizarre and exciting.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Incredible inspirations from, old lore of Japanese history
Yeah.
to try and make all these daemons, all these weird monster looking things, and of course the mask itself being a strange deity.
Right.
So yeah, well done. Most of the installments in the Legend of Zelda series have held up to be quite original. I mean, hell, like Wind Waker can still capture anyone's heart. I think that one has
Right.
a gleaming recommendation from me.
I never actually played Wind Waker. No.
Hey,
You know what? We
Absolutely.
even have a copy, and I haven't gotten around to it.
Listen out, bro.
Twilight Princess was, I would say, one of the weaker ones, but still really
It
good.
was funny. I feel like I could gauge the community's response to Twilight Princess, and it sure looked like the type of game that everyone was specifically asking for.
Yeah.
And then they got it, and it just wasn't what they really wanted.
Right. And
So-
I think Twilight Princess was fine. Just the metric I kind of was using at the time when I played it was, like every other Legend of Zelda game, I got stuck at least once. Like, the puzzles were hard. And then Twilight Princess, I never had a hard time solving the puzzles. And a lot of those 3D Zelda games are puzzle games first and foremost. I think Twilight Princess was lacking in the puzzles. Had good combat, and it was very expansive, but I don't know, I didn't really like one as much.
Maybe, yeah.
And then Skyward Sword also wasn't as good.
Yeah, maybe with some of these later games, they toned down
They
the
kind of-
the threshold for
Yeah.
being a creative puzzle breaker.
And they completely redeemed that with Breath of the Wild, which was basically another nearly perfect game. It's gigantic. It's got one of the better, like, open worlds, as in it truly feels open. As soon as you get the tutorial done, the game says your quest is to go kill Ganon, go. And
Yeah.
you can just walk straight up to him if you want. And people did.
Yeah, and
People do. Speedrunning community is still alive and
speedrunning while only levitating a boulder.
It had tons of puzzles of all kinds, right? It had the mini puzzles for the Koroks. It's got the temple puzzles for your special abilities, and then even like the boss fights and the combats have puzzle elements to them. It felt a lot like Metal Gear Solid games where there were so many different ways to approach a situation.
Yeah.
The same situation every time. Here are some bad guys, go fight them. But there's so many different weapons and things you can use.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild really felt like a open world adventure.
Like it's just so easy to have a great framework of mythic atmosphere.
Yeah.
When this is just fantasy in general, and fantasy's already had such a long standing in the art form that it's just so easy to make a new Legend of Zelda game with the same characters and still make it look so fresh.
Right.
So
and there is still a sequel to Breath of the Wild coming out.
Yeah.
And
you ready for
if
that?
It's anything like Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link or Majora's Mask, it's going to be a bizarre weirdo sequel. That is I hope it's weird. That's all I have to say, I guess. I'm sure it will be good, but I hope that it's weird too.
You need literal time stop powers in this next one. Power to literally change all the terrain around you, and it'll just become Legend of Zelda Maker.
There you go.
And then you can upload your worlds to the internet for someone to download 30 gigs and play. That's the projection for
the future of Zelda.
The future of video games are going to include these titles only. No other games.
No other games.
No other games.
Until the far-off distant year of 2077, when Cyberpunk 2077 will finally be released.
After signing a new deal with Disney, finally gets the production to finish their game, and it will only be on Disney+.
And the cryogenically frozen Keanu Reeves will be awoken once more to finish his
Just
lines.
like Bill and Ted.
Just like Bill and Ted. So yeah, I guess that concludes our discussion on some mainstream video games, although we did not get to all of them.
No,
there's
certainly
tons more game
certainly
franchises out there.
Yeah, that also need to go to the stake and burn for their crimes.
So we will be back, and
Yes.
if you have any franchises you'd like for us to discuss, feel free to leave it in the comments.
And also leave in the comments your recommendation for best twerking video by Ganon and Link.
Who?
Copy and paste your favorite Sonic fanfiction in the comments.
Please do.
Please do. And hit the bell, and subscribe, and
like it if you like it. That helps the channel succeed.
Just
if you dislike it, leave a dislike. That also helps the channel succeed.
Okay, then do. Okay. You know what? Thumb up this video. Put your thumb up this video's ass if you like Legend of Zelda. Or give it a thumbs down if you're tired of Sonic.
There you go. That will determine how next episode begins.
All right. Well done.
That's a wrap.